The American stand-up comedian Tony Hinchliffe got kicked to the curb by Donald Trump after his suggestion that Puerto Rico is a floating island of garbage. Like, imagine that shit, man. Imagine putting your stand-up career on the line to chase the approval of that sack of shit. Like, and then you get there, and you get to the venue and you know the deal. It's a rally and you've been booked to be a bit funny, a bit roasty, a bit contentious. And you're out the back, ready to go on in your nice suit. And you're clearing your throat, looking at yourself in the mirror like, okay, all right, you got this. You know it's going to be like the biggest night of your career. Because he's not a household name. He's not a Joe Rogan or a Chris Rock or whatever. He's been booked because he's a roast comic, because he's kind of funny, because you get the idea. But you know that this is going to be the biggest night of your career. And you get there, you're out the back, and you think to yourself, you look at yourself in the mirror, and you're just like, okay, all right, this is a MAGA crowd. So I've got to say, I'll say something horrendous, obviously, because it's MAGA, right? So say something, like read the room, Tony. That's what they told you at your $9 an hour improv class. That's what they told you, right? Read the room. Go with your gut, Tony. And so then you do go out and you say something horrendous, but not only do not even that crowd laugh at it, like the joke bombed hard. It was not a good reception. But also now your career is over. Like, it's just done. It's just toast at this stage. And on top of that, the guy whose approval you sought by saying the classless, prejudiced, ignorant, dumb thing, well, he throws you straight under the bus as well. To top it off, it's a bad joke, everyone hated it, and even the person who you were trying to curry favour of, even he just threw you straight under the bus, lad. Like, in a matter of hours, Donald Trump was like, sorry, who? No, I have never heard of him. Like, career is just done. And he'll always be remembered for this. Like, that's the kind of funny thing about it, like, this is the thing now for him that they'll put below his name at the out-of-state comedy clubs that you sort of drive, like, appearing tonight, it's Drew Carey from the Drew Carey Show. Then underneath, like, Tony Hinchliffe. You remember him for the MAGA thing, right? So it's going to be weird for a roast comic, to try to come back from this, to try to recover his career from this. Right? Because he's made his name out of roasting people, right? He's made his name out of being mean about people. But it doesn't matter who the target is now. It doesn't matter how long it is from now. The next comedy roast that he does of someone, of anyone, is going to be like, it's a Comedy Central roast of Kendall Jenner, or, whatever. And he's going to whip out his shitty roast jokes, his mean character assassination jokes. He's going to be like, yeah, do you remember when you took that Pepsi commercial and you made yourself look really stupid for like $1 million? And whoever it is, like if it's Kendall Jenner, like she's going to turn around and be like, yeah, remember when your whole career died for nothing? Like, how do you come back from that? Remember when you ended your own career for literally no benefit? You got paid nothing, Tony, and you wistfully tossed your career onto the bonfire. Do you remember that? How's your recollection, Anthony? Like, how do you recover from that if you are a roast comic? Like roasts are an American phenomenon, really, aren't they? I appreciate I'm sort of, veering into my my stand-up comedy world here a little bit too much. But, for the benefit of those of you who are not as exposed to that world as perhaps some of the rest of you are. But, like, roasts are an American medium, right? We don't really do them here as much as they do them over there. I think they've tried them here a couple of times, but for, various social reasons, they don't work in quite the same way. It's a bit like panel shows. Panel shows here, it's a British thing. They work here. They don't really do them over there, I don't think. There's something about that doesn't really work either. But if you want a British example of, what Tony Hinchliffe is and now the problems that he will face, I guess it's a little bit like Angus Deaton. In his exit from Have I Got News for You? You cast your mind back a bit. It's like, how are you going to sit there and mock politicians for their sleaze and their scandals after you, personally, have been the headline on the news of the world for having your very own John Belushi session? Like, how is that going to ever work? They'll just turn around to you and go, aha, okay, you're criticising me for that, are you? Okay. So it's a bit like that. It's like, how are you going to roast somebody once you've gone down in flames at Madison Square Garden in the most consequential presidential campaign of modern history and died on your ass and for no benefit? You're going to end up with your name as a byword for bombing. Like, that's where Hinchcliffe is right now, guys. You're going to get comedians, like stand-up comedians, going back into the green room after a tough gig, They're going to walk back in the green room with their other mates, the other guys who are on the bill. They're going to be like, oh, Jesus, that was rough. Oh, really? Tough crowd? Yeah, I ate shit out there. I totally Hinchcliffed it.